I get too focused on my comment section. I really should look at the like to dislike ratio of my videos, and for my last couple of more negative opinionated videos, I get more likes than dislikes, so I'm gonna keep going with how I think and not what I think the comment section wants to hear. The comment section's full of people saying I'm just bitching when really I'm analyzing, I'm criticizing. I'm an FPS enthusiast. I don't have any gun skill and I can't do well, so I might as well talk about the design of the game itself, right? Any fucking who, Battlefield 5's map design is fucking atrocious, and not really just because of layouts, but yes, also because of the layouts, because it doesn't let you see a goddamn thing. And by it doesn't let you see a goddamn thing. I mean, the map design, either way, the maps are gross. They look awful. They are messy, they are high contrast, and finding enemies on them is just a fucking chore. Now, if you're lucky, and this is just something that sometimes happens, people in Battlefield will use their kit to the best of their ability. Although most of the time I play Battlefield, I'm constantly trying to remind my teammates the kind of class they're using. So I have to like bounce in front of a support player and shake my dick in front of them and be like, hey, ammo, fuckface, hey, ammo. And you know, it sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. Sometimes it takes them like a minute to register. Oh, that's right, I'm the guy with the ammo and he has the ammo icon over his head. I have to press left on the D-pad now. Honestly, snipers don't spot, they try to get long headshots so they can Xbox hashtag record that. And when it comes to support players, they don't give ammo, they just like having lots of it. And when it comes to medics, they don't like giving health, they just like having lots of it. And when it comes to assault players, well, they just want to actually have decent, versatile killing potential. And, you know, they just deal with that and it's not a big deal. It's really funny when you join a squad and you see that all 4 of them are fucking support players. Hilarious. You really can't rely on your teammates to help you in Battlefield games, especially if they're not in your squad communicating with you. You just really can't. People get caught up in the pretty graphics and chaos, and people playing on console sometimes play across the room from a 55-inch, 60-inch TV. Their siblings are running around in front of them. They're just trying to have some fun with a pretty game that has lots of explosions. I know if I played on PC, I'd probably have a better, more competitive experience, but I absolutely love playing FPS games on console, and my preference is mine. Fuck you. So that's right, the map design. I'm currently playing on an Xbox One X that renders the game at a dynamic 4K resolution, so I don't really want to hear anyone say it's because the console version's blurry. It's not, it's actually quite sharp on console. It's just the fact that the color schemes and lighting really don't cater to seeing people. I feel like I need to turn up the black equalizer or black boost on my monitor all the way so I can see people in the dark corners of this goddamn game. And that's not the worst of it. I don't mind if you can blend in dark corners for the most part, because in previous Battlefield games you had to run a suppressor to stay off the minimap, and everybody had the ability to 3D spot. Those aren't realistic for a World War II game, so I guess the hands are tied and I'm supposed to just accept it. But I'm not, I'm a YouTuber, I'm going to complain about it. The problem with Battlefield 5's map design is that it really limits your eyes. You can't see a lot. I find myself having trouble picking out enemies that aren't moving in this game, especially the ones that lay on their back with a fucking LMG in dark corners. They just come out of nowhere and they kill you before you can think, because the LMGs in this game melt, especially if they're fully spec'd into rapid fire. This game already stripped so much of my situational awareness. I wonder why this is the game where they decided that visibility of enemies is stupid and shouldn't be in their game. They absolutely uninvited that design concept of being able to properly see your opponents from their birthday party. See, I used to play a lot of Squad last year, and you can't really see enemies easily in Squad, but that is an entirely different type of game that plays entirely differently. Battlefield, having pretty much every mechanic from Battlefield 3 and 4 and Hardline and 1 mixed into a game that tries to take itself seriously like a milsim is an absolute slap in the face to someone like me that actually has played a real milsim, but I'm sure it's great for people on console that have never actually touched a realistic military game in their lives. The problem is the mechanics aren't built around it being a milsim. It still feels like a Twitch shooter, a pseudo milsim Twitch shooter at the very most. Just because you run out of ammo and die quickly and you can't see anything doesn't make it a milsim. It makes it fucking frustrating. People like me got into the Battlefield franchise to avoid the restrictions that other Call of Duty, Halo, Doom, Destiny-esque PvP games had. Instead of it being a tight-knit Twitch shooter, they were more expansive. It felt like more of a sandbox. I've said this way too many times, I'm not gonna go into that. So when I go into a Battlefield game, I don't want it to like put on a new hat and say, hey, I'm a milsim now, I'm really tactical. You can hide in shadows, you die incredibly fast, and because no one knew how to properly capture objectives back in Battlefield 3, 4, Hardline, and 1, we decided to limit the amount of ammo and health you have by a crazy amount, so you're more codependent on your teammates. They have to stick by people, which are most likely going to be on objectives, and then we've also put ammo and health boxes on objectives to kind of lure dumbasses into playing the objective, because you have to go to these ammo boxes boxes, and these ammo boxes are usually on objectives, which is a great system because not only does it punish people that don't play the objective, it also punishes people that used to know how to play the objective and when to actually go on long flanks and stay alive and slay. And oh yeah, it actually punishes a type of player that knew how to do both. But I guess it's good for people that didn't know how to play the objective because now they have to go to the objective to get ammo and health, which they're probably going to be short on because most players are going to want to use the assault class because most people always want to use the assault class. Oh god, one person in the comments is going to be like, I like to play as medic and support and I always help my team. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about my experience. I'm not talking about yours. Go away. That's right, back to the map design. The map design in Battlefield 5 is absolutely piss poor. You don't really have a lot of the interesting variety we had back in Battlefield 4, and the combat is mostly in a circle. At least that's how it feels to me. You don't have a lot of interesting layouts. You don't have interesting power positions or areas where engagements actually have layers. It just kind of seems like the area exists, which is more like a milsim game, credit to them. You know, real battlefields, real battlegrounds are messy, they're hard to see, they're not laid out like an actual competitive shooter. Oh, but that's the thing. Battlefield is a competitive shooter. It's not a milsim. Again, you don't get to make Battlefield 3, 4, Hardline, and 1, but make it so that players are more codependent and have less information at their fingertips, and then make the map shitty and have me say it's a realistic military experience that really puts me in the boots of a real American, German, or Japanese, Russian, American soldier. I'm going way off topic. The map design in this game is garbage because the aesthetic of the game does not cater towards seeing opponents, and this is the game they got rid of 3D spotting. So I'm forced to rely on recon players, which is kind of irritating because most recon players, again, just want to get those long headshots, and they don't actually shoot their flares up in the air, they don't use their telescope, and they don't make it their job to find the enemy. They make it their job to get sick clips, bro. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm not enjoying Battlefield 5. To recap, it's hard to see enemies. The layouts are not really laid out. They're just kind of existing. It just feels like a bunch of random areas that are messy and hard to navigate. And the average people I play with are so absolutely clueless on how to use their class, it makes it hard to enjoy the game. See you when I see you. Goodbye.